We are about 7 billion people on Earth. More than 3 billion people have no smartphone and no internet access. On average, a Frenchman has 5.5 screens in his home. In addition, it is young people aged 14 to 19 who use the screens the most. Besides, in 2023, Facebook is the first most used social network in the world. Then, YouTube takes the second place in the ranking, and in the third position, there are WhatsApp and Instagram. While increasing the technology network benefits our productivity and entertainment, it also exposes us to many dangers. First of all, we can be addicted to our screen. It's difficult for us to not see people on their phone in the street. It's a proof that this object takes up too much importance in our lives. Furthermore, digital natives who have grown up with digital devices are unable to solve their daily problems without it. Besides, nowadays we give bad habits to our children by giving them screens from their youngest ages. The further we go in time, the more we give them access to screens when they are very young. That's why children develop an early addiction to screens. Indeed, when we watch the diagram, we can see that in 2022, children aged 1 to 6 years old spend 6 hours and 8 minutes surfing on the web, 4 hours and 6 minutes playing video games, and 6 hours and 7 minutes watching the TV per week. Whereas in 2011, they spent 2 hours and 10 minutes surfing on the web, 2 hours and 50 minutes playing video games, and 7 hours and 29 minutes watching the TV. So on average, children aged 1 to 6 years old spend 16 hours and 20 minutes per week on the screen in 2022, whereas they spent 12 hours and 29 minutes per week in 2011. Thus, this addiction is dangerous for our social life and for our health too. It can provoke sleeping trouble, vision disorders, concentration, communication and learning troubles, depression, fatigue, aggressivity, family conflicts, withdrawal, poor nutrition, etc. To try to cure addiction, you can find new hobbies like board games, drawing, reading, coloring, writing, etc. In addition, you should do sports, go out with your friend or with your family members, walk around, set screen time limits, etc. Secondly, we have to talk about cyberbullying or cyberviolence. Cyberbullying is a phenomenon where someone, typically a teenager, bullies or harasses others on the internet and other digital spaces, particularly on social media sites. In 2023, the most common types of online bullying were rumors spread online, 33.2%, and mean comment, 28.7%. 35% had shared a screenshot of someone's statues or photo to log at them. 61% of teens who report being bullied say it was because of their appearance. 41% of US adults who use the internet have personally experienced online harassment. 77% of online harassment victims reported that they had been harassed on Facebook. 7 in 10 young people experience cyberbullying before they hit the age of 18. Close to half of US adults, 41%, who use the internet have dealt with cyberbullying, with 27% reporting severe online harassment, including physical threats, 18%, sexual harassment, 12%, stalking, 13%, and sustained harassment, 12%. Moreover, in 2022, 42% of victims of cyberbullying are cyberbullied on Instagram. 37% are cyberbullied on Facebook and 31% on Snapchat. Cyberbullying can have serious impacts on the self-esteem and mental health of people who experience it. 41% of people who were cyberbullied developed social anxiety, 37% developed depression, and 26% had suicidal thoughts and deleted their social profile. To avoid cyberbullying, protect your personal data on social networks. Choose a unique and complex password and don't communicate it to anyone. Manage your privacy settings, deactivate the localization, and use a pseudonym. You must also control what is published on you by typing your name on Google to see what appears, and always control the photos on which you are identified. Don't share, like, or comment on inappropriate content and report problematic content. If you're a victim of cyberbullying or have a loved one who is a victim, don't be ashamed to talk to someone you trust. Thirdly, it is legitimate to discuss identity theft. The identity theft is deliberately taking the identity of another person, usually for the purpose of performing fraudulent actions. In 2023, in the US, 5.7 million fraud reports were sent to the FTC and 25% were identity theft cases, so 1.4 million. 1 in 15 people is at risk of experiencing identity theft every year. Furthermore, every 22 seconds, a new case of identity theft occurs. Besides, in 2023, the United States is the first country where there are the most stolen identities. Then there is France in the second position, and in the third position, there is Russia. To protect yourself from identity theft, or if you are a victim, you should never disclose sensitive personal information. Pay attention to who you are talking to on the internet or by phone. Keep all evidence in your possession, like screenshots, messages, addresses of the internet pages concerned, documents, etc. that can be used to prove the offense. You can also report identity theft directly to the platforms on which it takes place, file a complaint for each act of identity theft, immediately notify all banking or financial institution of which you are a customer of the identity theft of which you are a victim. If your banking information has been stolen, please immediately object. You must have your identity documents used by scammers cancelled or renewed, and produce an attestation on the owner to the attention of all the organizations which put you in question to justify that you are not the author of alleged acts by attaching a copy of the complaint field. Mark the copy of the identity documents you are transmitting. Then, we also can talk about the hacking. Hacking involves illegally entering computer systems, personal accounts, computer networks, or digital devices. There are a lot of ways of hacking. Indeed, for example, there is phishing, which consists in deceiving the user in order to encourage him to communicate his personal or banking data by posing as a trusted third party, bank, insurance, etc. The ransomware, which is a malicious program that encrypts data and then sends a ransom note to the owner in exchange for the key to decrypt it. Fake websites that retrieve your payment data or passwords and which are perfect copies of the original sites, and fakes Wi-Fi networks which steal your data. There are also many types of hackers like the white hat, who uses different hacking methods to check if websites and operating systems are secure, and like the black hat, who hacks to earn money and serve his personal interests. There are also grey hat, who does not use his skills to serve his personal interests but does not hack in the utmost honesty. Kiddy script that uses programs downloaded from the internet to attack networks and degrade websites in order to make a name for himself, and belongs to the category of green hat, activists who aspire to social change and who sometimes try to expose abuses or advance a political or religious cause. Cyber spies hired by some companies to infiltrate the competition and steal trade secrets, and cyber terrorists, who are by far the most dangerous hackers. To protect yourself from hacking risk, secure your devices, create a password of minimum 12 characters, limit file installation, log out of your session, and have up-to-date antivirus software. Fifthly, we have to talk about blackmail. Have you already received suspicious mail which forces you to pay at the risk of losing your data? Blackmail is an action treated as a criminal offense of demanding payment or another benefit from someone in return for not revealing, compromising, or damaging information about them. In England and in Wales, the number of blackmails have increased between 2002 and 2023. Indeed, between 2002 and 2003, the number of offences is about 1,000, to reach approximately 31,000 between 2022 and 2023. If you are a victim of online blackmail, don't respond to a cyber scammer. Immediately lock your social accounts by setting up your professional social accounts and making your social media profiles accessible online only to your trusted friends, and discreetly inform people likely to be solicited by the cyber scammer by simply mentioning that you are a victim of an online scam and that you should not open, share, or respond to a possible solicitation from a stranger. Finally, there is the fake news. Fake news are false information broadcasted in order to manipulate or deceive the public. According to Arsene, the term fake news was first used in 1999 on the American satirical television show The Daily Show, presented at the time by Jon Stewart. This diagram illustrates the opinion of young French people between 16 and 30 years old regarding the frequency of appearance of fake news and false information in traditional media and online media, and among influencers or experts on social network in 2022. A youth surveyed found that fake news was much more prevalent in online and social media than in traditional media. Thank you for your attention, and especially pay attention to what you do on the internet, because even online there are dangers. Thank you!